Hey everyone, Happy New Year, Happy 2019. Welcome to my channel. If this is your first time here, then hello, thanks for coming. I started my YouTube journey, sounds really cheesy, but I started on YouTube at the back end of 2017. So 2018 was kind of my first full year on YouTube, and I have really enjoyed filming and really getting into makeup and being creative, not only with makeup, but with the editing and putting everything together. So it's been a super exciting year, and the best of beauty videos that come out at the end of the year or the beginning of the year are always some of my favorites to watch. I'm always, oh, I have that, oh, I've never tried that, oh, I've heard about that, I must go back and try them. There's so many makeup launches these days that it's really hard to keep track. So in terms of those end of year best of beauty, it's really good to kind of take stock on actually what was the kind of top stuff. So I will go through my very selected list. I've tried to not make it this kind of endless list, but really tried to pick out the best things that I have discovered in 2018. Not all of them are new for this year, new launches. A lot of them are just new to me, or kind of new things that I've tried, or things that I've loved for a long time and I still reach for and are still part of my favorites. So let's just get straight into it. I'm gonna kind of go in order of the way that I do my own makeup. So starting off with primers, my favorite primer of the year is from CoverFX, and this is their blurring primer. I personally love a primer that not only is gonna make a great base for makeup, but also really kind of blurs out those pores and imperfections and really fills in those pores so that your foundation goes over the top just super flawlessly. And this is something that I reach for all the time. A little bit goes a long way, and I don't use this all over my face. So I use this in my kind of oily areas where I have kind of pores, and a lot of that's on my nose, on my chin, and on my kind of T-zone area. I don't use it all over my cheeks because actually this is quite an expensive product, so it feels a bit wasteful to use it in places where you don't always need it. So therefore you can kind of make it last a little bit longer and get a bit more value for money by just targeting it in those areas where you really need it, and that's definitely what I use this for. So in terms of foundation, my absolute favorite that I've discovered this year is the YSL All Hours foundation. Now I am in the shade BR30 in Cool Almond, and basically it is a long wear matte foundation. So if you've got really dry skin, then just be careful about using this, or try a sample before you buy the full bottle because it is quite pricey. But I just think it gives this most beautiful, flawless coverage that I absolutely love. And bonus, it has an SPF of 15 as well. This is £35, so it is on the pricey side, but it does, a little bit goes a long way, and you just get this kind of beautiful coverage. So if you wanted it for a special occasion or an event, and then you had a cheaper drugstore foundation for every day, then that would kind of be a nice combination, and then this would last a super long time. I forgot to tell you how much the primer was. It's £26. So again, these items are pricey, but you really see the value of it, and I think these two things work together brilliantly well. So if you wanted something that was kind of, I use them every day, but if you wanted to have them as a bit more special, then you absolutely could do that. Now, in terms of concealer, if you've been watching my channel for a little while, you know exactly what is coming up next, and this is from Collection, and this is their Lasting Perfection Ultimate Wear Concealer. It says that it lasts up to 16 hours. This is less than £5. I actually think it's less than £4.50. There is no creasing. It wears such a long time. It is brilliant. There is nothing better out there for concealers in terms of value for money. Even if, so I'm now trying the NARS concealer, which is really nice and it works, but it's not £4.19. So I use the shade number 2, which is medium cool, but they do have lighter shades as well. I don't think their shade range is very good actually, so that really sucks and that's not great. But if you are in this shade range, then it's certainly worth looking into. So next is certainly setting powder. I use setting powder every day, especially on my oily areas, so kind of on my T-zone. I love the Laura Mercier translucent setting powder. I bought this when I went to Dubai in like February, and I've literally not stopped using it. And there's so much left in it as well. I've used probably not even half of it. So for, I'm just looking at my notes here, £29, for something that this will last me like years, I think, and I use it every day. The value for money, I think, is really, really good. It goes on like a dream. Your skin just feels like so soft and silky once you put it on, and it really does help particularly set that under eye, setting your foundation to really help it last all day. I avoid not just this setting powder, but setting powders in general when it's really dry like it is at the moment. And what I also use sometimes in replacement of that, if you're not into a loose setting powder and or maybe you're kind of a beginner and you don't want to go into that, I really like the MAC Prep and Prime setting powder, and this is in just the shade Light, and I'll just show you. I have clearly loved this product a lot. I have a hit pan, but it comes with a little kind of dabber thing, and I just use the thing that it comes with, or you could use your fingers or a small brush and just kind of literally kind of tap in those areas. So if you've got dry skin and don't want to kind of cake on loads of powder, or you want a more natural look, then definitely recommend the MAC one as well. So two different options for you to go for. So moving on to, and also if you haven't noticed, I've got a new lighting setup. If you've seen it on my Instagram, go and give it a thumbs up. So if the rest of my room looks really dark, it's because it's kind of rainy and cloudy and horrible, but you can still see my face fairly well with my new setup, which I'm really enjoying. This is kind of my first experiment into it. So moving on to brows, my all-time favorite is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Wizz. Now people love this, and I completely understand why. I use the color dark brown, and I'm wearing it today. I should have said actually, apart from the mascara, everything that I'm talking about today I'm actually wearing on my face. So this is the kind of and it's a brow pencil, and it's got two ends. It's got the actual kind of pencil on one end and then a spoolie on the other, which is super useful. This is pricey. This is £22 for an eyebrow pencil, and this lasts me maybe a good 6 weeks to 8 weeks, and I use it every day pretty much. So it is a really long wearing, long time for an eyebrow pencil that you're using every day. I've used a couple that kind of are over and done in about 3 to 4 weeks that are significantly cheaper. So I would rather have something that kind of lasts a little bit longer. There's no smudging if I touch my eyebrows, unless I really go for it. It's gonna kind of stay in place. I prefer a very simple eyebrow pencil. I've used pomades and things in the past, but I'm kind of really enjoying trying an eyebrow pencil. So I don't really tend to dip in and out of the kind of fiber things. In terms of other face powders that I use, I have a couple of very, very long-standing favorites. I say long-standing favorites, these are still 2018 discoveries. So this has been talked about an awful lot all over YouTube, and this is the Marc Jacobs Omega Bronzer in Tastic. Now I've got to be a little bit careful when I show you because mine is unfortunately broken. So otherwise I'll get stuff everywhere. But you can see it's kind of well loved. It's got a very big mirror. This is where I have to be a little bit careful because it's cracked in the middle, and therefore all of the little pieces sometimes fall out and come out, which is a real shame because I love this bronzer. Maybe I was traveling with it and it got knocked around a little bit. So all I would say is just treat it with care, treat it with love, more love than I did. But apart from that, it's beautiful. It will last you forever. That bronzer is humongous. Contour, I didn't mention contour. I love the Charlotte Tilbury contour wand. I have it in, is it light medium, fair medium, and this is where it has like a sponge applicator, and then you kind of draw on the contour from the sponge. That's just a very light covering. You can go darker than that if you squeezed it in, and this kind of blends into the skin really, really nicely. I find that I like to use a brush for this. Those two I definitely recommend. So it's gone super dark in the back of my room, but we're still here with my little light setup going on, so I hope this is okay. Now, next on the mother of all face palettes, which everybody is talking about, and I think it's actually like sold out everywhere, is the Hourglass Unlocked palette. And this is just the most beautiful palette I've ever owned in my life, and I absolutely adore it. So it has 6 different shades and 6 different powders. So you have down here is the ambient lighting finishing powder, which I just use a brush and sometimes just mix the two together, or I'll use one or the other, and you kind of just put it all over your face or use it as a really subtle highlight, and it to say that you look like a filter, it's been put on your face, is the best way I can describe these finishing powders. They are insane. I know a lot of friends that have used them for weddings and when they've got married. The bronzer is beautiful as well. This is like a soft bronze. It's slightly shimmery, but I just think it's really subtle and really, really beautiful. You have two blushes here, which is more of a pinky, I think this is called Mood Flush, and this one is more of a peachy glitter. It's got a little bit of glitter in there as well, but that's super cute and super nice for the summer. I haven't actually tried, but I think these would look really nice on the eyes as well. And then finally, you've got a champagne shimmering highlight as well, which I've also got on my face again today. So I'm using all of these on my face today. I think this is just the most stunning, most usable Hourglass palette that I have seen. It's really expensive. I think it's like £70, £69. So it's super, super pricey, but if you're a makeup lover and really wanted to splurge on something from Hourglass, get this one if you can still buy it. If you can't get hold of that or don't want to spend £69, then you could also get just the ambient lighting powder on its own. I have the one in dim light, which is their bestseller, and again, it does what I said earlier around really giving this kind of gorgeous finished filter to the skin. There's a huge amount of powder in here. Powder in my eyes doesn't really tend to go off. So if you didn't want to spend £69 but really wanted to try something, the ambient lighting powders are definitely a must from Hourglass, and dim light is their bestseller. So I'm experimenting with my lighting situation at the moment. So I just turned on a couple of lights inside to hopefully give that I'm not just sat in a dark room with a light coming on my face. So going into eyeshadows, my absolute favorite eyeshadows that I have discovered this year are two different palettes that I want to share, both from Anastasia Beverly Hills, the Modern Renaissance and the Soft Glam palette. These eyeshadows are so creamy and buttery and just beautiful and beautiful to work with. So this is the Soft Glam palette. So you can see there's some lovely, really kind of warm tone colors. These three glitters that come in the Soft Glam are absolutely gorgeous. So this is what I am using on my eyes today with the kind of rose pink glitter, as well as doing some kind of maybe some everyday neutrals kind of in this area. Then the Soft Glam is super, super versatile and easy to use, and you really kind of get some amazing pigments. But I mean, I'll just show you this gold one at the moment. It's actually called bronze, but it is more like a gold. I mean, that just went on like a dream. So just such a beautiful, beautiful palette. The other one is Modern Renaissance, and this is the one that's been a bestseller for a super, super long time. It's actually pretty similar to the Soft Glam. Some of the shades are either the same or very, very similar. I am super extra, so I have bought both. But I really love this kind of warm taupe that we have here, and some of these kind of really gorgeous reds are really fun to play around with, but I really love just doing kind of here this golden ochre as a transition shade, warm taupe, and then kind of smoke out with cypress umber just to give a really kind of classic smoky eye, and then you can kind of have some kind of warmer, more everyday over here, and then experiment with some fun colors as well. Highly recommend both of those. They are quite pricey, I think at £43 each, but the pigmentation is so good. There's a little bit of fallout, but I think that's manageable. So in terms of mascara, this is the one thing that I'm not wearing today. My absolute favorite of 2018 is the Marc Jacobs Velvet Noir mascara. It has this really big kind of, well, not super big, but a really nice kind of brush at the end, and I just find that it just like lengthens your lashes so, so beautifully without making them go really, really clumpy, which I absolutely love. This is £22, so in terms of kind of high-end mascaras, not too crazy expensive, but it is definitely up there from drugstore. Moving on to lips, which I guess is the fun part. I always love a bold lip, so I've really got into liquid lipsticks over 2018, and I have 3 recommendations. Well, 2 of them are the same brand and the same formula, and this is Fenty Beauty Stunna lip paints, and they are incredible. I talked about this one a long time ago. Actually, this came out over a year ago, and this is in the shade, what's this one? Uncensored, and it's just the most beautiful, most amazing red. It's slightly a cool toned red, so it's got kind of a bluey undertone, but it will suit every single skin tone, and that's generally the approach with the Fenty brand, that it should really suit everyone. And then earlier on in the year, actually not so long ago, they launched a few more colors, including a couple of more neutrally colors. This is the one I'm wearing on my lips today, and this is Uncuffed, I believe. I didn't love this at first. Not because of the formula, because the formula is beautiful, but just because it looks, if you kind of compare it versus my lips, I'll actually just zoom in a little bit. If you actually compare it versus my lips, it's actually quite a bit darker on my lips than it looks in the bottle. And I think the same goes for the red one as well. So I think that's just something to be mindful of when you're buying these. Put them on your hand, let them dry a little bit before you go out and splurge on it, and still make sure that you're okay with the color. Yeah, it comes with a super cool kind of applicator, which I've never seen on any other product. But if I just do that, it just goes on so smooth, and it is, they call it a lip paint, so it does stain, so you've got to be careful and take it off properly. You've got to have the right stuff, a good micellar water, a good oil-based balm to take it off, but just the most beautiful red. The other lip color liquid lipstick that I absolutely adore is from Huda Beauty. Now obviously this was part of one of her mini sets, so she has like a mauve and a nude mini set, so I got this as part of the nude mini set, but I will definitely buy the full size version when this has run out, because I can't live without this. And this is the liquid matte in Wifey, and this is just my favorite kind of brownie nude. So again, just especially, it looks kind of dark on my skin, but obviously when I'm wearing a really bold eye look, I really love wearing this kind of nude matte lip. It's just the perfect nude matte lip for me, and I go back to it all the time. Absolutely love it. Now, if you're not a liquid lipstick lover, then I would definitely recommend the Pillow Talk Dream Team from Charlotte Tilbury. I've just drawn on here, this is the Pillow Talk Lip Cheat. It's such a super easy lip liner to use and apply. Sometimes I've found that with other ones, you almost have to drag it and kind of pull it, which is not easy, but this just glides like a dream, and it just goes amazingly well. And this is a matte revolution, but it's not as matte or as drying as a liquid lipstick. So just a really perfect kind of pinky, kind of a nude. It just goes amazingly with so many different looks, and super wearable. And again, it's a long wearing lipstick for me as well. By the way, I've been drinking a cup of tea while I've been filming this video, and this is the lipstick. The hot tea has not tainted my lipstick at all. So just again, bit of credit for the Fenty Beauty formula, because it is stunning. Lastly, I'm going to talk about setting sprays, which is the last step of my makeup routine. I have two that I absolutely love. One is the cult classic, well, they're both cult classics really, the Urban Decay all-nighter setting spray. You just can't go wrong. It just sets your makeup in place and you look brilliant for hours. The other one that I have is the MAC Prep and Prime Fix Plus, which again, hold your makeup and set your makeup, but what this has is also hydration properties within it. So if you just need like a quick pick-me-up, you're feeling a little bit dry and you just need a quick spritz that will kind of uplift your makeup during the day, I'd go for a MAC Fix Plus. I actually have a mini version on my desk at work, and during the day I'll just give my makeup a spritz while I'm at work, and it just really kind of peps it, makes me feel a bit more hydrated without having to add kind of more layers of makeup on top. So love both of these. So that is my ultimate favorites of 2018. Again, there are lots of other products that I love and would recommend. So if you want to see more favorites, then I can do monthly favorites, more through the year. Let me know what other videos that you want to see from me in 2019. I'm really keen to kind of continue creating more for you guys, more that's interesting. So I want to know what you want to see. Do you want to see kind of more tutorials of eye makeup? I've kind of really practiced my eyeshadow game and really got, you know, pretty good at it recently as well? Or do you want more reviews or more talks about good products? I definitely want to talk a little bit more about skincare in my next video as well. I might do the best of skincare in 2018. What do you guys think? But thank you so much for coming and watching this video. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, if you want to see more from me in 2019. You can also follow me on Instagram and on Facebook as well. So thank you so much for coming. Bye guys.